Well, welcome everyone. This is going to be Excel Module 1, the end of Module 1. So I've opened up the necessary file over here, and the project steps talks about Randy is a veterinary technician at the walk-in pet clinic, and he is, or she actually is, developing an invoice worksheet to track service charges for the billing department has asked you to help complete the invoice. So we're going to go to the invoice worksheet in here. Before I do that, though, it tells us to save it under a different name. So I like hitting F12 to do my save as, and I already have it done, so I'm just going to use the one that I already have and save it and answer the question, yes, I want to replace it. So the very first thing we want to do is we need to go to the invoice worksheet. So don't do any work on the documentation worksheet, work on the invoice. And in A1, we're going to type in water bill, pet clinic. Now, this really hasn't been addressed, but there's ways that you can merge and center this. We're not going to do it because the instructions don't tell us to do that. So we'll talk more about that later. In cell B4, we're going to enter the date. So here's B4, and it just wants us to type in 5-12. Now, I'm not going to type in the 21, although it tells you to type in the 21, and it should automatically add it for you. So let's see if it does. If not, we'll go back and manually add it. And it did. Now, it did type in the 2021, so let's just change it in there. Actually, it tells us to leave it alone because it formats to 2021, so that's good. And then if you have a Mac, it's not going to be that way, so don't worry about it. It's just going to type into 21. So in cell B5, change the text B101 to R101. So all we really need to do here is delete this B. I'm going to hit the delete key since I clicked to the left of it and change it to an R. That was pretty easy. So cell C13, enter 2 as the quantity. That's fairly simple. That was number 4. Number 5 is clear the contents of C17. So if you're having trouble finding where C17 is, if you have a large worksheet, just type in the name bar C17. That takes it here. And I'm going to right click and choose clear contents. Or you can just delete it. Calculate the total for each item in cell E10. So here is E10. So in order to calculate the total, we have to know the formula. The formula is we're going to multiply the quantity times the charge. So I'm going to hit equals, and then I'm going to click on C10. I'm going to multiply it by hitting the star key, and then go to D10. So that's 150. That looks good. Let's just check the formula by changing this to a 2. And of course, that goes to 300, which is right. So now I'm sure we're going to copy the rest down. So I'm going to left click down here on the plus sign and go all the way down. And everything looks good accordingly. So you can look and see we have relative reference that it did adjust the row to 14. But it left the C and the D alone because we're not going to the left or right. We're going up and down. In this case, just strictly down. So that was number 6. Number 7 in E15. So here is E and here is 15. We want to calculate the sum of all these charges here. We could do the plus, 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 but it's so much easier to just click the auto sum. And notice that it goes straight up until it hits total, because total obviously is non-numeric. So we have $431.50. So I'm going to go and change this to a 2, and you should see the 431 should automatically update, which it did. And here I'll just undo it. So we're good to go here. That was number 7. In E17, we want to get the total after the discount. So we're going to subtract the 25 from 431. So make sure that you're doing, the first one is the E15, then minus, don't type in 25, type in the cell reference so that if this changes to 30 or 20, it will update automatically. That was number 8. Number 9, copy the content of B6 and paste it into B20. So here is B6. So there's many ways to copy. I'm just going to right click and choose copy, and then it says go to C20. So I'm just going to type in C20 and click on paste. So that looks pretty good. A good time to save it. Now they want it to look like an invoice, so they want to get rid of the grid lines. So that would be in view. And I'll just get rid of the grid lines here. So you can see that looks a lot better. And let's go hide the grid lines. Your worksheet should look like this. And I'm going to show you here. So this looks 431, 25, 406, 50. And that is everything for this one. So hopefully this was helpful. And have a wonderful, wonderful day.